120 to finish him off with the hammer. I like that play. I like that play. For sure, for sure. Ooh, ooh. Oh, you might be good, but there's somebody better. Oh, he caught himself. Nice, nice. Dude, half the lobby's already dead. There's been talked a lot in multiplayer games, especially in the last few years, where SBMM has came out. And if you don't know what SBMM stands for, it's skill-based matchmaking, all right? So skill-based matchmaking, in a nutshell, is where there's an algorithm that works behind the scenes, and it takes your kill-death ratio, your win-loss ratio, and it can also take how you play the game. So if you're more of a slower-paced player or a faster-paced player, it can take all that into consideration, as well as other stuff that we may not even know of. And a lot of games do this. Call of Duty, Fortnite, basically every multiplayer game to some extent will have SBMM in it, otherwise known as skill-based matchmaking, okay? And I'm kind of having a problem with it, if you want to know the truth. And I want to know if I'm alone in this. And basically, there's a lot of pros and cons that come with SBMM. And so the initial pro right off the bat with it is actually that, well, with skill-based matchmaking, right? The first pro being that on paper, you will get people at your skill level, which is great, which is awesome. That's what people want, right? I think to some degree, that's what kind of people want. It can serve as a good 1 KD kind of ratio. For every kill you get, you'll get a death. And obviously, it's not going to work perfectly, but that's a good way that you kind of know that every kill you get will be kind of a hard-fought win, which is, again, another pro of it, because you'll know it's not every kill is going to be just like, oh, I completely murked that person. And so it's more satisfying getting that kill out of it. And I want to know how he's going to get out of this boogie bomb situation. But at the end of the day, I think SBMM is not working for a lot of games in the sense of that what happens is it's almost like if you do really good in one match, it will start putting you in very good lobbies to where even if you are a good player, you start feeling the challenge and the sweatiness. And even though it might just be like a below average lobby, to you it feels really hard, right? Because you're not at that skill level. And I think the game almost overcompensates for itself, which is a con of having SBMM in the game. And another con that I don't like specifically is as the game starts to die, and I'm not saying Fortnite dying. Now, if you want to watch that video, then check it out. Fortnite, is it worth playing? But the one con is that it can increase the wait times for matches, because what happens is when you click into a match, whether it be build, zero build, or any other custom match here in Fortnite or in another game in general, instead of going, hey, these two people have the best connection, we're going to put them all in the same lobby, what's going on is it's going, hey, Cortana, you lost the fight, right? But what's really happening is the fact that you get players with all across the world with different connections that are not solely based on how good of a connection you have off your internet and to each other or to the server, but how good you guys are skill-wise, and that's how it pairs you. So it can take longer, because imagine trying to put 100 people together in the world that are all around the same skill level in every department as close as possible. It can take a little bit, and then you have to have all those players queuing up at the same time looking for that same match. And so, of course, that can be really hard for the match to find, for the game to find all those people and put them all together in a quick manner still. So that's why you can see wait times taking a little bit longer. But if you want quicker times to get into a match, right, that's when they have to take SBMM and tone it down and make it kind of non-existent, because that way you'll get into lobbies that I prefer, which is you could get into a lobby of 100 people, you'll get into a lobby right now, as soon as you hit ready up, you're into another lobby. But when you go into the lobby, you never know what you're going to get. You could completely demolish it. You could do really good and die. You could immediately die. You never know what kind of players you're getting as teammates or as opposing players, which of course is something that I really prefer, because every lobby was completely RNG. Whereas with SBMM, you automatically can assume that as soon as you have a good match, you're more than likely going to have some bad matches depending on how bad you or how good you played. So for example, right, I went in one time and I played solos and I had a 17 kill game win. And I wanted to see how long it would take me to even have an average game of like 5 or 6 kills. It took me 20 matches before I even got another good like gameplay that was 5 kill worthy. In those 20 matches, every game I had was maybe 1 kill, maybe 2 at the most. At the absolute most, I was getting 2. And for the first 3 or 4 matches, I was struggling just to get 1. Now granted, I just came off of a 17 kill win, which means that's not slouching, at least for my skill level. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm a 5 KD player or anything like that, but for my skill level, I did pretty good. And so, of course, maybe, yes, of course, SBMM stepped it up, said, hey, we need to put you in harder lobbies. For 20 games, I had just absurdly hard lobbies for my skill level. Now, of course, you could go into that game and realize, like, hey, this is nothing, right? What are you saying? You only got 1 kill? I got like 15. But again, your skill level is higher, but at the end of the day, it will start finding you matches that are really super hard. And for a casual player, it turns a lot of people off, which turns a lot of people off to wanting to play the game. And the idea behind this, the business model behind this, though, is the fact that people are more encouraged on paper to want to play. Like, okay, they're getting easy wins. They might want to not play as much because they're getting easy wins. They're not hard fought. They don't feel like true victories. So they'll start putting you in harder lobbies. And then they feel like a player that is getting hard lobbies but still sticking to the grind. So like, okay, eventually I'm going to get a good one and eventually I'm going to do good and trying to overcome it. They keep continuing to give them harder lobbies to the point that some people it might discourage, but the algorithm is trying to figure out like, hey, you want harder lobbies, so we're going to keep giving them to you in hopes that you will continue to play this game and keep that retention low. But the algorithm, the one thing it's not picking up on is the player behind the controller, behind the keyboard and mouse. It is only picking up their play style, how well they're doing in match, but it's not picking up the player that's going like, you know what, yeah, I had 17 kill game win, but after a few games, it's like, I'm ready for another like 5 kill win. Or like just like 5-6 kills. I want to get at least in the top 10. I want to be able to drop down and get some loot, not die right off the rip. And it doesn't, and it's like, it doesn't pick up on how you're feeling. It only picks up on how you're playing and the fact that you still load up another match. So if you start finding yourself in a lot of hard lobbies and you're getting discouraged, the best thing to do at the end of the day with SBMM is to turn off the game and come back in a day or 2. And that's really degrading. And for a casual player, it's really degrading with SBMM because they could come in, have a really good couple matches, and then all of a sudden they're put in really hard lobbies and it's like, you know what? I don't really want to play anymore. These two guys are teaming? Are they just all of a sudden going to team right now? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here's the gunfight. He's got the win here. He hit him for 83. Yeah, no shot, right? Top 7 now. Fire Lena 1. Picking up a gold hammer with a gold SMG. So that is my thought on SBMM. It's got a lot of pros, it's got a lot of cons, and at the end of the day though, they have arena mode. They have tournaments that SBMM should definitely be in. That's what the tournaments are all about. But to put it in a normal playlist like the Zero build and in Fortnite build where you're not actually going for money, trophies, or going for rank, it should be solely based off connection. And that is how I personally feel. Of course, you can agree and you can disagree all you would like. And I would like to hear why you agree or disagree. But at the end of the day, I think SBMM does need to be reworked. Or in best case scenario, it does need to be taken out of the casual playlist. That is how I feel about SBMM. Let me know what you guys think as he gets sniped and we make our way to the top 5. Time to hunker down. We're going to watch this out to the rest of the win. As you type in your comment, I would like to hear it.